Hello, 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 welcome back to Hunter Tune. Tonight I'm out at the shop doing some tuning, and Roy's car just got dropped off the other day, and he wanted me to kind of go through it and possibly take it to the track, try to get it to launch right, and try to just get it dialed in for him. So I put it back on the dyno and did some tweaks. This car has really been inconsistent with like power, fueling, etc. And he had actually clogged up his fuel filter. Back here he's got a MagnaFuel 750 in the trunk and a filter, and he said the filter was really gummed up and the car was just running really weird. So I pulled the injectors out and they were also really dirty, gunked up. So I don't know if some coating is coming off the inside of his tank or something like that, because I've noticed cars will clog up the injectors and fuel filters and stuff a lot easier if they have a sumped factory tank, and that's what this car has. I never have issues with a fuel cell car. I don't know what it is, but a fuel cell car, just for some reason, they just seem to not do this. But I know 2 cars actually in the last like week that have had the same thing, and they were both sumped factory tanks. I don't know if there's something to say about that or what, but anyways, got it on a dyno. It just made 9 something through the tailpipe, which is fucking crazy. All the way, 4-inch exhaust all the way out the back. It's got a tailpipe and everything. You guys saw the pull. Made good power, but it's still inconsistent. I can only consistently get like 850 wheel out of this car, which isn't bad, considering when he dropped it off it was only making 630 horsepower. Now it's up a little bit. Hopefully we can get this thing into the 9s. That's what he wants to do, but it is a pig. It's a full interior street car. It's got everything under the hood still, like freaking AC, heater box, fender liners, full-size radiator, everything, full interior. It's like 4,200 pounds probably. So it's not the lightest thing in the world, but anyways, got that thing as dialed as I'm gonna get it for now. I might be taking it to the track tomorrow, to weather depending, just to kind of help him get it dialed in and stuff like that. But we're going to be tuning this little Honda Civic today, and it is a SI. It's a blue Civic SI behind me. I'm gonna be tuning this thing on HTS, chipped ECU. We've had some ECU problems with this car, and it's been here for like a day or 2 now because I was trying to source an ECU. I found one. Had to install some Hunter tuned normal style truck injectors into it. He actually bought them off my site, and then purchased a dyno tune on my website, and then called me to schedule the day. So that's kind of what I don't know, maybe what I've been doing lately for this kind of stuff, just because it's been really hard for me to get back to people and messages and stuff like that. Sometimes I get completely flooded with messages and flooded with work, and I don't respond to people because I already have my plate full, kind of thing. So I apologize to anybody that I haven't gotten back to, or I haven't scheduled with, or whatever. This is just the shop and stuff like that. I never really expected to be this busy. I kind of got the shop in hopes to just have a badass racing program with my friends, and it's turned into Hunter's just working on other people's stuff all the time and is stressed out constantly. But needless to say, we are getting over the hump of kind of adapting into this whole lifestyle that I've brought myself into. Kind of been lacking on the videos. I've been lacking with a lot of stuff just because I got the shop because my website was making money, and I'm like, oh, I'll get a shop and maybe a dyno, and then just keep expanding and expanding, and I'm still just one guy. So it's tough to manage all of it, obviously, but I appreciate all the support on my website lately, guys. It's been me and Christine. Honestly, I want to tell her to quit her job pretty soon. It's just that awesome. So thank you for all that, and want to continue doing this stuff, but I really want to continue. I miss filming and having fun behind the camera, and I just haven't really been able to do that a lot this whole last year, really, just because just been working a lot and just overwhelmed. And then sometimes when I get overwhelmed, I just fucking shut the world out. You know what I mean? It's tough to, I don't know. Like I said, when I got the shop, I kind of anticipated to, I was like, oh shit, if my website's making a couple bucks here and there, I can pay the shop payment and then maybe do 2 dyno tunes a month or 3 dyno tunes a month and pay my shop rent. And that's kind of what I wanted, and I got my lift and stuff like that because I wanted all this stuff to work on my own stuff. I can count on like 2 fingers how many cars I've built in this shop, and it's not, I've built plenty of cars in the shop, but none of them have been my cars, other than like the CRV I built and the Cavalier I did at home. But you know what I mean, like it's just, I want to get back to having some projects of mine in the shop that I can make videos on and show you guys. So I'm trying to get back to that, and going to kind of limit my dyno tuning schedule a little bit more to maybe 1 car a week or something like that, to get a grasp on everything so I can have more time for my family and just fucking decompress a little bit, because I've been trying to like decompress and just take all this in and try to be able to manage and schedule a lot of it, because I'm terrible. I'm also very terrible at like scheduling and like managing shit. I try to write stuff down, but I always forget a pen or something and I can't write it down, and then I go into my phone, and as soon as I go on my phone, it's like I'm fucking working for like 30 minutes on my phone because I'm responding to emails, and it's crazy. I'm not complaining, but I am complaining because I personally just suck at this. Like, I suck at managing this shit and scheduling and doing all that stuff, because I've never had anything like this before. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't do none of that shit. And I don't got a boss telling me like, hey, you got to do this car today, or you got to do that car today, or whatever. I don't have any of that. It's all me. So it's tough to, like I said, I just apologize for not getting back to some people or being delayed. And I appreciate everybody's patience and continued support, if you guys still even watch. But yeah, also been doing a lot of dog training with my pup Roxy. She's sleeping right now. You sleeping? You sleeping? She's turning into a great little dog, a little shop dog. And yeah. Say hi. Say hi, Roxy. Say hi. She's like, hi. I'm right here.
The best part about being back is the excitement of...
So, anyways, I'm gonna get this car unstrapped. And yeah, little sneak peek for you guys what I've been up to behind the scenes with the Mustang. This thing is gonna be fucking wild. And I'm actually excited about a project right now, and I haven't been excited about a car or a project in a long time. It's been a long time for me to like be motivated to work on a car, because every time I work on a car, it turns into headaches. At least with other people's stuff, a lot of the time, it turns into headaches. Like, it seems like the last, 12 to 15 cars I've done has been just like a headache. So it's tough to, like, when you go home or you get done with that car at the end of the day, that's the last thing I want to do, Just like we hired a dog trainer to help us with Roxy, and she said the same thing to me today. She said, well, I feel bad for my dog sometimes, because when I train dogs all day, I go home at the end of the day and I don't want to train dogs anymore. It's kind of the same thing with hot rodding. It doesn't matter how much you love it, because I'm the most passionate person I know personally that is into this stuff. And yeah, and it's tough to hire help. I don't really want to hire help, because that's just like a whole nother stressor and a whole nother can of worms that I don't know if I want to get into, because A, it's hard to trust people, and all my friends that I do trust have jobs and are busy with other things, so it's tough. And I'd have to, obviously pay that employee what they're worth, and it's tough to, like I said, trust people to work for me. And I don't know, I'm stubborn that way, where I'd rather just like do less work and keep it to myself, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But then again, it's, yeah. Okay, done babbling. Let's tune. All right, so got this thing strapped down, and we are about to do some tuning. I got a base map in it right now, and yeah, like I said, I got the injectors installed. These are normal style truck injectors. This car has a Chemzo 340 fuel pump. It's just pump gas. Could run these injectors with E85, but not this pump. I would prefer at least a Walbro 450 whenever I tune on ethanol, just because the pumps that aren't a Wally 450 nowadays just can't seem to handle E85. They all seem to drop pressure, or they just don't like running over 40 PSI. So a lot of those pumps, like the 255, the Chemzo, any of these, you know, if it's not a Wally 450, don't bother. You know what I mean? I like the Wally 450 or the Wally 525, never had issues with any of them, and they supply all your fuel needs. And you know, fuel pumps are like $100 no matter what you get, so might as well just get something that works. But this one should work for now, like I said, for pump gas. Should be fine. The eBay turbo kit with just 2.5-inch full exhaust. Hopefully this wastegate works. It looks kind of sketchy because it's really small. H-cap fluff valve, regular piping, aluminum radiator, B16 bone stock. It's got head studs, but that's it. So like I said, we're going to tune it on pump gas here. Got our base map loaded in. I got the check engine light on right now because the jumper to check the light is jumped. So I got to pull that back out because I was setting the ignition timing. But this thing just fucking idles beautifully. Man, whoever tells you that decapped injectors don't run great, I don't know, they must not know how to tune. But these injectors, they run like stock, literally. They run like stock, sometimes better than stock. I gotta try to get this freaking tune done because the mosquitoes are coming out. Hopefully this thing burns some oil so we have some mosquito repellent. So that was like 6 pounds of boost, 10.0 air fuel. It was really rich. Made 212 horsepower. Oh, let me shrink this up here. So like I said, that was about 6 pounds. A little bit of wave in the graph here just because we got to clean up some stuff. This is just my base map that I was running on here. So idle seems good for air fuel. But cruising, very light load seems okay, but it's like medium load, you know, kind of just tipping into the throttle a little bit, just kind of accelerating, is very rich. So I have to pull some fuel out of that area, and then wide open is, before VTEC it's like 1040, 1050 air fuel, and then in VTEC it was like 10.0. So I'm gonna pull probably 10% in VTEC, and probably 7% or so before VTEC for fuel. I'm not going to touch timing or anything yet. I'm just going to do a fuel change on this next one, clean up the cruising fueling a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. Roxy's currently eating my my covering for the dyno, which clearly didn't work. I need to get like hard piping for the dyno wiring to run through. Yeah. Alright, so pull number 2, pulled some fuel out of the tune, so it's not as rich, and we are going to see what she lays down for power now. Almost right on the money. I pulled out what I thought needed to be pulled out on the VTEC side. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody that doesn't have experience with like fuel map and stuff like that. Usually 5% at a time is all somebody should pull, but I ended up pulling 15 out of the VTEC side because I knew it was that rich, and it was 1150 on that pull, air fuel. So we're gonna see what it made just from the fuel change, going from like 10.0 to 1150. And oh yeah, she made way more power. About 21 horsepower it picked up. You can see the gain here. Picked up virtually everywhere on the curve. And managed to make 233. So, not too bad for like no boost. Like I said, this setup's on like 4 pounds, 5 pounds. I thought it was 6, but it's only on like 5 pounds. So these things typically make like 160 to the wheel NA. So to make 230 horsepower, if you do the math, how many horsepower per pound of boost that is, we picked up probably about 70 horsepower over what this engine would have made stock with like bolt-ons. So 70 horsepower divided by 5 would be about 20, 40, 60, about 15-ish horsepower per pound of boost, which sounds right for this setup. So anyways, may have to do just like one more little tweak. I might add a degree or two of timing and see if it picks up at all from that, and then go from there. Also, this guy dropped off this car with a note in the car that just said like, hey, this is what it has done to it. I need this, 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 and this. And my goal is 220 horsepower. We've already exceeded that without any boost controller or anything. It's just whatever spring was in the wastegate, which is light, which makes this much power. So I think he'll be pretty stoked. All right, I added 1 degree of timing. I want to see if it picks up at all. It already had like 22 degrees, 23. We'll see if So, 1 degree of timing gave us a very small gain. We made an extra like 5 horsepower. So I made 238 instead of 233. And you can see where it liked the timing was way up at the top. So that's kind of why typically you always want to run more timing with more RPM. You don't want to hit it with a ton of timing down low, just because it doesn't really, it just doesn't, the motor, it's hard on the motor and it doesn't usually take the timing down low. It'll detonate easier at lower RPM than it will at higher RPM. So yeah, but pretty much 240 horsepower out of this thing. I turned on the popcorn mod for this kid. So there you have it, 240 wheel horse, simple street car, has AC power steering, all the bells and whistles. Yeah, little eBay kit, worked out pretty good today. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned. I want to make some more videos coming up soon, especially on my Mustang. This thing's really coming together. I got the cage painted. I got a badass water to air intercooler tank fuel cell combination here. I have yeah, like I said, I got the cages sort of painted. Got my steering wheel in. Just kind of got the spots that I could hit with a spray can. Yeah, I got to get a seat in the thing, a shifter, and then wire it, and that's how I'm gonna run it for now, because it just takes a lot of time to clean stuff up, and I'm trying to make a race at the end of August with the car. Test it. I want to test the car before the race, so I'm really trying to hustle up and get this thing done. Been waiting on a ton of stuff all the time for parts. Can't get parts, can't do this. The whole car market shit has really also kind of put a damper on my motivation, because it's like, I don't know, it seems like all these people are coming out of the woodwork and buying all the parts, and I can't buy the parts now, you know what I mean? So me and Roxy are gonna get out of here for the night. Here's another couple parts that I got for the Mustang. Motion Raceworks bracket for my intake, a low car, locker, throttle cable, got my tranny dipstick, got one of these badass vibrant clamps that I'm going to put on the throttle body to go from the throttle body to the intercooler pipe. I'm converting the car to manual brakes. Yeah. So yeah, and then obviously the car's going to run on Holly Terminator. I got some low dollar sensors here that we're going to use. And then I have a ton of stuff still coming in the mail that I've been waiting on. Y-pipe merge for the turbos. I got to finish welding up the hot side. I got a set of badass valve covers from Ben Laley, I think is his name, on Facebook. He actually sent me over these valve covers that were already black, wrinkle black paint, which matches the intake really well. He gave me a catch can, the lines, so this thing will be all vented up. I got a PRP electric water pump on it, a whole ton of stuff. Like, this thing is gonna be freaking awesome. I can't wait. We're gonna run a freak show converter in it. The freak show converter was supposed to be Christian's, but he hasn't had time to finish his S10, and I think a Jags XHD will work better in his car. So I was gonna try the freak show in here and see how it worked. If it doesn't work, I'll probably go with PTC or something like that, or Hughes. I don't know exactly what, but yeah. Anyways, enough babbling. Just kind of wanted to catch you guys up to speed a little bit on what's been going on. So thanks for watching. Have a great night and a better tomorrow. We'll see you later.